Hey, I'm gonna do something different this time. I was asked how I choose books to read, so I thought I would just explain about that. Um, every time I approach a book, it's intentional. I read with a purpose, and sometimes that purpose is just pure enjoyment. If I know I'm reading a book just because I wanna read a good story, um, have a good time, then I pick it up and I read straight through. If I'm reading for enjoyment, but I want to enhance my vocabulary, which is something that I do frequently, by reading the Russians, the Russians and dead white men, Dickens and Twain, etc. What I do whenever I read those books, I just have little pieces of paper with me, and as I read, I jot down words that I like or words that are not familiar to me, and then I go and I just define them. So it doesn't really inhibit or halt the story for me, and it's just a quick notation of things that can expand my horizons and open my eyes to things. For example, this one, the word turbid. How frequently do we hear the word turbid? We don't, and I liked it, so I wrote it down. And another reason or another way that I read with a purpose is I have a reading journal for the books that I know are going to be heavy, thought provoking, and present me with ideas that I will need to explore more in depth. And generally, what I do with those types of books, I plan time. And I have two different colors. Usually one is pen and one is pencil. The pen I use to write the quotations, and then I go back and I reflect the following day in pencil, and I make my own notes and I write my own questions and my own commentary. So ultimately what happens is generally one side of the page is quotations and then the other side of the page is my commentary, unless I have ideas underneath the questions, which can also be helpful depending on how you structure. I don't know, everybody's different, but this is what I do. And it's been helpful for me, and it's really helped. The reason it's been helpful for me is because it's led me to a deeper enjoyment of each piece that I choose to invest in. I don't just read for the sake of reading. I read things that are going to matter and that are going to serve me in some way. And if I find that it's not serving me, I stop reading it. I don't force myself through something. And if I'm really not gaining or benefiting from it in some way, even if the benefit is go into a different world, take my mind off the present, if it's not serving my purpose and it's not meeting my expectations, then I let it go. And you should too. Try some of these strategies, let me know how it goes, and hit me up if you've read anything really good recently, because I'm always on the lookout for good titles. Peace.